Yeah, what's up, guys? Happy Tuesday. It's August 10th, 2021. We have a lot of baseball tonight. Every team in the league is playing, and we have two main slates, two different look main slates on FanDuel and DraftKings. A couple doubleheaders that catch the DraftKings slate. And then not so much the FanDuel slate, man. I hope you guys had a strong weekend. We didn't do content yesterday. Long day Sunday. After I got off the baseball stream on the Awesome channel, we had all day of wrestling. And then Monday was just a wonky setup, right? There was an early lock on DraftKings, late lock on FanDuel, just 5 games. It got weird. I was like, all right, we got to catch up on the Z's, on the rest. We'll be back at it today. And here we are. First look, you know the drill. We're going to try and start off with two pitchers to gravitate towards, 3 hitters, 2 stacks, and take a brief overview look on the entire slate. And then we'll come back later this afternoon, 3 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Central, and go a lot deeper game by game here and try to come up with some concepts and thoughts and leverages and all those big fancy terms that you people love. Contrarian. Chalk, equity, yeah, stuff like that. I don't know, that's weird. Anyway, Tigers at the Orioles. We got Casey Mize taking on Keegan Aiken. Orioles a 5.3 implied run total. Hey, that's the same as the Tigers. This game might generate a lot of runs. Vegas kind of preparing for that. Phillies hosting the Dodgers. Phillies and the Braves making some transactions at the deadline to go out there and catch the Mets, and that's exactly what they're doing. But Phillies, not so fast. Enjoy these games against the Dodgers, and hey, you thought you got rid of Max Scherzer, you left your division, but he's back. Max is back in town up against Aaron Nola. Dodgers implied run total right at 5. Phillies 3.7. Then we go over to PNC Park. The Pirates hosting the Cardinals. J-Hap taking on Stephen Brault. Pair of southpaws. Cardinals a 5 implied run total. The Pirates 4.6. Indians, future Guardians, hosting the Athletic. Sean Manaea up against Tristan McKenzie. McKenzie's offense has a 4.3 implied run total. The Athletics 5.3, a full run favorite. Red Sox in the Rays. This one's a big one. Dogfight. Top of the AL East. Rays are throwing Luis Patino. The Red Sox throwing Eduardo Rodriguez. And maybe these two just kind of keep each other at bay. And the Yankees and the Red Sox in a little bit hot. Yankees winning games they shouldn't win. And the Blue Jays offense is picking up. George Springer is alive. Rays implied run total 4.6. The Red Sox favorited here, minus 120 with a 5 implied run total. Should be a fun game to watch and maybe a fun game to target for bats. We'll really dig into that later. Nats at the Mets. Carlos Carrasco, Cookie on the bump. This price has kind of gone down a little bit as they try to build his arm up. AK on DraftKings. Espino up for the Nats. Nats implied run total 3.4. The Mets 5.3. One of many teams over 5 run total. Then we go to Atlanta. The Braves hosting the Reds. Sonny Gray taking on Drew Smiley. Braves with a 4.7 implied run total. The Reds 4.9. Cubs. Alec Mills hosting Aaron Ashby is the projected starting matchup here. This is game 2. It looks like if the doubleheader won't catch FanDuel, will catch DraftKings. So the run total is going to look a little bit more wonky. And I don't have them yet. And don't hold your breath on those guys being the actual pitchers here. Twins hosting the Red Sox. Dallas Keuchel up against Griffin Jax. 4.6 is your run total for the Twins. White Sox 5.5. Rockies up against the Astros. Odorizzi hosting John Gray. Lesser of the two Grays. The Gray brothers on the slate. They're not really brothers. 3.7 implied run total for the Rockies. One of the highest scoring home teams, lowest scoring road teams. Jake Odorizzi, 7.7K. He might get a little bit of puncher's chance here at 7.7. Could he get to 16-20? I'm curious to see where the field lands on that early on, where the ownerships are. Astros, implied run total 5. Royals, Daniel Lynch hosting Nestor Cortez. Yankees, we got lefty versus lefty action. Both teams going into extras last night. Yankees really couldn't afford to go too far into the bullpen last night, but they did. Here we are running it back. Two lefties head-to-head. Implied run total 4.8 for the Royals. And the Yankees, 5.8. Knocking on Six's door. It could be the highest run total on the slate when it's all said and done. I think the public might be a little too Yankee happy here without substance. That game didn't really become a game till the 7th inning yesterday. Giants hosting the D-backs. Zach Galifianakis is hung over from his last start. 7,100 on DraftKings here. He'll be taking on Alex Wood. Wood been pretty doggone solid at the house. 26% K rate in Oracle with a 3.47 xFIP. He's almost 10K though, man. There's a couple pitchers I like today, but at 10K, at over 9K, it gets weird, mama. D-backs, implied run total of just 3.3. Giants sitting at 5. Angels hosting the Blue Jays. Angels throwing Jose Suarez. Blue Jays, Ross Stripling. Second game of the doubleheader, so it's only going to be on DraftKings. Suarez 7,800. Ross Stripling 9,500. Stripling might be an intriguing option because his K rate is picking up against lefties. The xFIP and all that other crap against righties. Not what you love, not what you like. But the Angels do present a high K rate, and sometimes you get lucky with these 7-inning games where you steal a CG. And the Rangers up against the Mariners. Kobe Allard taking on Logan Gilbert. Rangers 3.1 implied run total. One of the lower totals on the slate. Mariners sit at 4.5. Gilbert, 31% K rate to righties so far, 25.5% to lefties. The xFIP and those numbers say, hey man, this could be a solid play. The results maybe not as strong for 9,600 on DraftKings, but maybe that make him a little bit more intriguing in the long run. I think at 7-8K, I think he's a really popular play here, but 9,600, he's getting a little close to some of the more upper echelon tiered guys on the slate. And finally, the Padres come back to Craig Stammen. I don't even know what I'm doing here. Craig Stammen looking like a bullpen game here for the Padres. Padres, a massive -250 favorite. Implied run total for the Padres 5. Marlins throwing Braxton Garrett, and their team total offensively is offensive. 3.2. That is your overlook. Looking at all that, there's like 2 pitchers I'm thinking about early on, 3 hitters, and then of course we'll circle back with the 2 stacks. I want to remind you guys, this video is brought to you by PrizePicks. Sign up using code GUNDECKER. Get up to $100 up to your initial deposit. Like, everybody has a code. It's crazy. Max Scherzer. Let's talk about Mad Max, man. Whew, what a pickup by the Dodgers. The rich get richer. First game, Max Scherzer. Hey, how about you go face the team to strike out least of all, the lowest K rate team in the league, the Houston Astros. Max like, all right, you know what? I got you. 7 innings strong, 10 strikeouts, 109 pitches, 30-plus DKP. And now he's back pitching against an NL East Phillies who he's pitched against several times this season, 3 to be exact. 18 innings total, almost averaging over like 6.5 innings each start. 27 DKP essentially per start. Yeah, I want some of that. I think they're pitching, he's pitching inspired, and I really just think he's a solid play, especially considering that for an 11K pitcher, there's going to be plenty of opportunity and value on the slate because every bat in the league is on it, and I don't think I'm going to sweat the small stuff there. I love slates where I can pay up for high ceiling, high floor pitchers, and the bats will find themselves, man. Give me the floor, give me the ceiling at pitcher, and maybe that's a little bit more of a cheap bailout call, so let's get a little bit more freaky with it. How about Sonny Gray? Huh? How about him? Just as a human. Seems like a good guy. He is. I know it. Not that he's bad at home, but obviously when you're outside a Great American Ballpark, it gets a whole lot better. And SunTruist Park is, it's more neutral, but it's less for homers. But Sonny Gray's just been really, really elite on the road. 295 xFIP, almost a 30% K rate, a half a home run per nine, near 50% ground ball rate, 27.4% hard contact rate, and a 5% barrel rate. Braves here, a lot of guys in this projected lineup, not named Albies and Freddie Freeman, have K rates that are substantially high, 1 and 5, 1 and 4. Guys like Jorge Soler, Austin Riley, Dansby Swanson, hold me closer, Tiny Dansby, Adam Duvall, 29%. And then the fun thing about Sonny Gray is he actually strikes out lefties at a higher clip, 33.5% K rate to those lefties. So maybe, just maybe, we add a little bit more strikeout propensity against the Albies, against the Freddie Freemans, than the bottom of this lineup with Peterson, Vogt, and the pitcher spot. I'm kind of digging Sonny Gray to be a little bit different. 10 plus K for him. I do think 25 plus DKP isn't a crazy range of outcome. A little bit more risky for sure, but I'm in it. Those are two pitchers I'm watching early. 3 hitters I want to talk about. Last night, Eloy Jimenez had 5 RBIs and 2 home runs. I'm recording this specific sentence on August 9th. And then I'm going to replay it again tomorrow. It's going to be edited so pristinely, you won't even notice. Guys, Eloy Jimenez is probably a little too cheap considering DraftKings has been out here throwing guys at 6K like it's nothing. Back-to-back games of 2 homers and 5 ribeye steaks, 36, 39 DKP. Prior to that, a couple doubles here, a couple doubles there. Since August 5th, he's given you an extra base hit in every outing. 4,400 on DraftKings, 3,400 on FanDuel. Up against Griffin Jacks. Jacks are 306 average allowed and a home run per 9 of not 1, not 2, not 4, but 3. That's what you want. 58% fly ball rate, 38% hard contact rate. I'm in on that, and we'll probably circle back and talk about that offense in just a minute. Brian Reynolds. It's going to Reynolds wrap it up. God, why wasn't he third? That would have been so good. Oh. J Happ on the bump for the Cardinals. Guess what? That's what you want if you're a hitter. Brian Reynolds, 3,300 on FanDuel, 4K on DraftKings. Since the beginning of last year, batting 288 with an 825 OPS, knocking on the door of a 200 ISO. The bond detector's a little bit below 4, but not a ton. We go isolate his left-handed hitting splits, whatever. He's got a 451 BABIP against lefties so far this season. Unsustainable, obviously. 154 WRC plus. We like that. A 342 batting average. And then, of course, what we really like is that 217 ISO, that 955 OPS. And also, we like the fact that he's going up against J Happ here to start. And then against the Cardinals bullpen, a little bit closer to the average side. They've been better in terms of the home run per 9 plus metric for the bullpen. Probably because Bush Stadium's a little bit more plus, but PNC is not like a massive boost or lateral. It's more of a lateral. But I just think it's a really strong matchup for Brian Reynolds, 1v1 against J Happ. So I'm kind of there on them. He's been really, really raking against lefties. And then lastly, let's give you some stats before we get to the name. You want to do that? Let's play a little fun game here. I'm going to give you this hitter who's going up against a lefty. Left-handed pitcher, right-handed hitter. I'll give you a couple of numbers. First of all, I want you to think about, are these numbers good? And then I want you to guess. In the year of our Lord, 2021, a 329 average against left-handed pitching, a 1 OPS, a 402 ISO, a 340 BABIP, a 189 WRC plus. Let's go up a little bit more, just a little bit more. He has 87 plate appearances against lefties, 82 at-bats, 10 homers, 3 doubles, 13 extra base hits here. That's crazy. Any numbers, any names in your head yet? Like, who is doing this? What? Who? Okay, now let's narrow it down. He plays for the Tigers. Oh, now you're thinking, it's probably not Miggy, right? Miggy's not that good. Jonathan Scope, no. It's Eric Haas. It's Eric Haas, man. Big Haas from the Tigers. He could be batting around 6. That's where he's projected. $5,400 DraftKings. You got to go up there and get them. But FanDuel, I love it. $3,400. People don't feel obligated to play catchers. I talked about it, man. This game has a 11 total right now. Both teams less than stellar pitching, but Keegan Aiken, 322 average allowed, 146 homer per 9 allowed, a 5.4 xFIP. Here's my favorite stat here to put these two together. A 16% K rate to what? Neutralize. Yes. Eric Haas has a near 30% K rate, so you could chop that in half maybe in terms of expectation. And then if you can neutralize the strikeout rate here, you can really look at the ISO and the OPS and start to get happy. And I'm getting happy. So I like Eric Haas here. And then we'll let that lead into first stack of two that I'm kind of digging here. The Tigers, right? Tigers against the Orioles. Orioles on the season, the third highest bullpen ERA. And then another metric I really like here is the WHIP plus in the last 30 days for the Orioles. A 122 WHIP plus. That's third highest in baseball. What that essentially means to me, walks plus hits per innings pitched, means you're allowing traffic, right? And the more traffic you allowed, the more positive correlation you have for your stacks. So if one guy walks, one guy gets a hit, one guy gets hit by pitch, the next guy's up and he just has to hit a single for the stack to move 90 feet and be positive. And then, of course, if he hits a homer, he adds to it. And then you just scoop up all those points, runs, RBIs, and yada, yada, yada. So Tigers look like they're in a really good spot to be a really strong stack here against Keegan Aiken. And in this projected Tigers lineup, there's a lot of 300, a lot of green against left-handed pitching. You know, the ISO's not as extreme as you would love it, but Keegan Aiken can maybe offset that a little bit. Mentioned Eric Haas, but I love Jonathan Scope. Little revenge game here on a new contract. Jamer Candelario, I can get behind that. Robbie Gross, man. It would be gross, man, if you left him out of your stacks. He's been a lot better lately than he has been in yesteryear. So I'm behind the Tigers here. I'm looking at them as one of the early stacks to kind of keep in mind as we start making our lineups today. And then let's move it back to Minnesota, the White Sox. Dallas Keuchel, his offense is in a spot. Griffin Jacks, not good. I mentioned him a lot when hyping up our boy Eloy Jimenez. On the season, the Twins have the fifth highest bullpen ERA in baseball. The whip's up there. Everything is in a favorable position for these White Sox that are beginning to look a lot more like the fully tuned operational Death Star White Sox that we kind of expected coming into the season. Eloy Jimenez, Yohan Moncada, Luis Robert, all back in the swing of things here, complimenting Tim Anderson and Jose Abreu. Timmy's finding his swing lately, homered yesterday. And like we said, Eloy's been on a tear. This is a fun lineup. Luis Robert coming back into the mix yesterday. He's a good power bat, but a little bit of speed that a lot of people don't really give him the credit for. He'll run on you. This is a good spot overall as a team. 5.5 was their run total. I like them to put up a lot of action and just be that fun team again. So Tigers and White Sox, I'm there on that early on. And then there's going to be a lot of teams that kind of pop up throughout the day. And as we come back at 3 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Central, and dive a little bit deeper, get into some more metrics, some more game theory, maybe some leverage as we absorb and project ownership. And then, of course, my favorite part of the live stream is you. Yes, you. 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 Man, I appreciate you guys hanging out with me. I love you guys. Good luck. God bless. And go win some money. Channel memberships are live. If you've got love for me, I got love for you. Earn your status as a baller, legend, or Hall of Famer, and get exclusive perks in this channel, like members-only video content, live streams, and rock those custom emojis and badges next to your name that you can flex in every comment section on this channel or in our live stream live chats. Memberships are the best way to show love for me, show love for the content, and make sure more content comes your way.